Hey there, guys. Welcome back. How are you? It's me, Hebot, your host of Toys in My Closet. And today I'm going to bring you another one with something a little different, but game related. Like I tell you guys, anything that's game related and has a figure attached to it, it definitely appeals to me in every way. And in this case, we have the brand new Marvel Select, I believe it's 7-inch scale, Spider-Man from PS4. The PS4 Spider-Man outfitted costume Spider-Man. And as you see, it comes in the traditional classic Diamond Select packaging. As you can see, it's really big, really bold, and it has a lot of, big fonts and, space in the window, as you can see. We have a lot of things going on. This is a figure that I did not pick up at all for the Marvel Legends version. But I saw that this one was coming out when they did the reveal in Toy Fair that just passed by. And then I saw that it was up on Entertainment Earth. And so I went and checked it out, and I picked it up because I really wanted a PS4 version of Spider-Man in this suit. Because I think this was a really cool looking suit and one of my favorite parts of the game, even though I didn't really enjoy the game as much as I did previous games, but definitely enjoyed the way he looked, and the suit I thought was really cool and appealed to me in a lot of ways, especially when I saw that Hot Toys version. I thought it was gorgeous. So here we go. We have Diamond Select or Marvel Select here in the bottom. The logo from the actual game, the new logo in white, Spider-Man. It says collector's action figure with accessories, because this is an adult collector's piece. This is not for kids under the age of 13, obviously. Then we turn it around and you see that it has a really nice symbol right there of Spider-Man and the insignia. It says Gamerverse there at the top. And then it obviously says Spider-Man in the bottom, in the font. Then we turn it around, and you see that it has a nice promotional shot of the Spider-Man figure. And it says Spider-Man on top, and it says Advanced Suit there in the corner. And again, you see it's part of the Gamerverse, just like they did with Marvel Legends. You have Marvel Legends, seal of a stamp of authenticity right here in the bottom. Diamond Select, seal of authenticity, and some other stuff like the comic shop locator service. So here has a little bio. So I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It has a little bio, and in that bio it says, when teenage Peter Parker was bitten by a radioactive spider, he gained the proportional speed, strength, and agilities of an arachnid. After learning that with great power there must also come great responsibility, he became the crime fighter spider superhero called the Amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Man has now been web swinging through the streets of New York City for about 8 years, and over time has become more experienced and masterful at fighting crime in the Big Apple. But his talent go beyond breathtaking acrobatics and his trademark wall crawling. Spider-Man uses his intellect to craft amazing gadgets to help get the job done. This latest adventure calls for Spider-Man to use everything at his disposal, and he'll face more powerful and personal adversaries than ever before. And this is designed by Edmund O'Donoghue and sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios, which is what the people that usually do the stuff for Diamond Select, as we all know. So there we have him. Now let's take him out of packaging and take a closer look at his accessories and at the figure itself to see what it has to offer. So here we go. And here we are. We have his accessories in front of us. And it's kind of cool because Spider-Man figures usually, especially when the Marvel Universe stuff or Marvel Legends stuff, never really bring much in the aspect or sense of accessories, but in the game they have some cool stuff that they had added for the game, and they kind of did a really nice job in translating it over into the figure. And this is something that they did with the last two Gamerverse from the original, from the ones that came out recently in Marvel Legends that I have, which was it's kind of like a spider web, and I guess this is something that it would supposed to be like when he sticks somebody on the wall with the spider web, they get caught. It's a nice little effect, and it has these two hooks here in the inside, so that you can hook it around the shoulders, I guess, of the figure, so it could sit well and hold well. And it's pretty nice. Looks like the color of actual spider web. It's like a grayish white with like a see-through kind of material on it. It looks really good. It looks really nice. Then we have one of his sets of hands here, which are the open ones where you can put some of his stuff. You see the white painting done really nicely on the top. They look almost like metal plates on top of his glove to give him, the strength to like fight without breaking his knuckles or whatever, or hurting people, I guess. Which is kind of cool. Then he has these other sets of hands here, which we have, and is opened up. These are the ones that look like he would use to. These are the ones that he would use to. What you call it? Climb up the walls, as you can see. Painted really nice, which is kind of rare for a lot of Diamond Select stuff. Like in the past, wouldn't really be painted well or wouldn't look as good, but you could tell that they're really trying to improve the quality of the figures, even in the $20 price point, because they know people buy them and appreciate what they do. This is the ones that obviously web shooters, like he's shooting, his webs out of his hands, or his fingers. Which that's always a controversy, because I believe he always shot spider webs from a web shooter, but some people think that it's better, or it's more realistic, obviously, or it was like that in the comic where he shot him out of his actual hands. Then we have this awesome little, I forgot what this thing does. I forgot what it was. I used it in the game. I really forgot what it was. It has a nice metallic red or cherry red on it. Looks like a spider. It's like a droid, almost, to take pictures, if I'm not mistaken. Almost like a drone, but it goes on the ground. Really nice with the silvers here, and then the feet in red, all metallically cherry metallic red. And then he has this cell phone right here, which in the world of Spider-Man, we all know that Peter Parker is a reporter, right? So he no longer uses the old-fashioned classic, photographs. This is a new age Spider-Man, a new interpretation for the new world. So he has a cell phone, which basically cameras are better than some of those classic cameras. So he takes his pictures, and in the game they give you a feature where you can take selfies and be silly, do up close shots with selfies of Spider-Man. So that's why I think they added the cell phone, to give you that option to display them like that if you choose to. So now let's take a look at Spider-Man himself. And here we have Spider-Man on the turntable, spinning around in all of his glory. And I gotta say, he looks really, really nice. He looks really, 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 really nice. What I like the most is that his structure of his body, the way they did his anatomy and the way he looks. And mine have a couple of paint blemishes here and there that I hope I can fix. But they came like that, out of the box. Hopefully I can have my daughter touch them up and it'll get fixed and it won't be a big deal. But they're mainly in the back, so that's a good thing. And you gotta be kind of careful, because I kind of was rough in one area and I loosened stuff, something out that I have to kind of glue to make sure it stays in. But other than that, so far he's pretty cool with what I've played with him so far. So he looks really good, as you can see. The blues stand out really well. The white symbol stands out really well. Has, for the most part, the paint app is pretty clean, and the reds pop really well in the areas that it has it with the blues. And the blue is a lot lighter. It's more game accurate in real in person, but the camera is really sending off this really nice, vibrant blue. So let's take a closer look at him. Take him off the turntable, and here we go. And take a closer look at him, and we'll start off, obviously, with his face sculpt, as you can see there, looking pretty spectacular in all his Spider-Man figure form. As you can see, the symbol on the chest looks really, really nice. With the paints, the applications, and you see all the detailed lines on his suit and his arms, on his biceps, as you can see. The side here of his shoulder going down, as you can see, you can tell it's separate pieces. It almost looks like pads, like metal plates, instead of looking like it's like part of the suit together, because it looks so futuristic and with all those parts there that look like plates, as you can see. It looks like these are plates, but it's, obviously it's not, but the white's there. And then, as you can see in this stomach area, really nice. You see the six-pack, really pronounced but not overly done, with the nice definitions here. The side over here, in the side también. Vaya, vaya, vaya. Look at that. And then, obviously, the crouch areas looks really nicely cut with the V shape in the front. The sculpt holds, is holding very, very well. It looks really, really nice and clean, not too much gap. You see the the side panels there. The legs, the same thing, the same detail. Going around, and as you can see here, on his boots, or what would be his Spidey, the bottom of his Spidey shoes. Right, you see the nice details in red with those lines coming down as well. And in the back you see really nice with the red and white, and he even has detail in the bottom that I believe he also has in the game with those grips. So, and then the back. This is what it looks like in the back with the webbing. Really nice. Nicely painted. As you can see, the blemishes I have there that I was telling you about. Right there in the blues, there too. It looks like I got on top, and there I'm missing a whole spot of white that I hope I can paint in. Because it doesn't look too bad, too terrible. So as far as what he looks like, he looks really, really nice. I think he is pretty well executed, really nice. Looks really well done, so I think he's great. Now, let's take a look at his articulation. His head moves left and right. It looks down just a tad and up just a tad. There's just a little bit of pivot, not too much. His arm goes up, and the shoulders, that much. They go around 180 degrees. Bicep swivel right there. I had to heat these up, but he does have double jointed elbows, and as you can see, just trying to bend it. Double jointed elbows, and the nice thing that they did was they painted the pins here in red, and then in the inside they went for the blue, even though mine has a little red scuff for continuity, which is pretty awesome. Then he has that nice torso ball joint, which gives it a nice movement, so he can crunch forward about that much. He can crunch backwards about that much. Then he has this is where I did this. You see that right there where I unplugged it for turning it? You can't really turn it. He has a waist where we can't really turn it super much. He does tilt a little bit here and there. It's got a little tilt there and there. And then when you do it with the waist area as well, you can make him look forward that much, and then when you do it with the waist area as well included, you can hyperextend them back that much, which is a little bit better range, which is good. Then the biggest thing is he can do a Van Damme split better than any Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Which he's supposed to, because he's a very agile character. He has the thigh swivel there. He can move the leg forward all the way this much. Back. Not so much, even though he's unplugging there, but not so much. You gotta glue it. Again, like I said, then you have the double jointed knees. And then, of course, in the legs, which would be his, Spidey suit, or Spidey shoes. It goes down that much, goes up that much. He can turn the leg to go left and right, and then he has the rockers like so. So his articulation is really nice. And another thing I wanted to point out, that this Spider-Man is basically like the one I reviewed recently in the Castlevania figures. The rubber on him feels a lot softer, the material. So whatever plastic they're using feels more softer and rubbery, which I think works really well for these figures because of the articulation. So I'm going to put him back here, and now we're going to take a look at him with some of his accessories and what they can do. And this is what he looks like doing his web slinging. Let's pull it back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is. Doing his web slinging or his web capturing. As you can see, this is the 80th anniversary Marvel Legends Captain America, which he looks bigger in front of him, and Cap is bigger than Spidey, so it's not in scale, but just to give you an idea of how the webbing over here works, which looks pretty cool. So let's take a look at him maybe with some other stuff on. And here he is hanging out with a boy from My Hero Academia. They're about to do a ground face-off. Spider-Man's about to climb up, sending out his little Spidey bot. Midori's trying to get up from the ground and shooting up some of his power effects. As you can see, coming upwards, thinking that he can do whatever he wants, because he's a sinvergüenza también, you know what I mean? So, looks pretty dope, pretty dope. So for scaling purposes, here I have him next to the Dragon Ball Z's Super Dragon Star cooler, which he's a pretty big and massive figure. Just lets you know and kind of gives the idea of how tall Spider-Man PS4 edition really is next to, you know, someone like him. Okay, and then, as you can see, okay, and then he fell down. Here he is next to Captain America, 80th anniversary from Marvel Legends. You can see he's quite big, taller than him. Here he is next again to my boy from My Hero Academia. I forget his name. I think it's Ichiro Adar. I forgot. It's something like that. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I haven't seen it in a while. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, there he is next to him again in side by side, as opposed to a floor shot. Here he is next to Bardock from Dragon Ball Super Dragon Star. Again, really nice, but different in size. Bardock is more in the 6-inch line scale. He's more of a 7-inch. Here he's next to the Mythic Legion Spurblor. And you can see, but even though he looks smaller, he actually is taller. Since he's pushed back in this area, he actually looks bigger. So it's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of weird. Let me see. Maybe like that. You see? Here he is next to One Punch Man, as you can see. About the same scale. This is the McFarlane one, which is on the 7-inch, and he looks a little bit smaller, so it would be accurate for the 7-inch scale for Spider-Man to be smaller than One Punch Man. Here is next to a Masters of the Universe Classics Many-Faces, where you see the disparity in girth is tons and tons of miles away from each other. The Masters of the Universe Classics are just very beefy and massy, and mass and size are huge, but still scales really well as far as size. And here is last but certainly not least, I'm showing you the scale between the DC Essential 7-inch scale Deathstroke from DC Direct next to Spider-Man. As you can see, again, the height is pretty accurate in scalability because they're both obviously in the 7-inch line. So at the end of the day, is he a good figure? Honestly, I can honestly say yes. He is a good figure. I don't have a lot of Spider-Man figures. I only have one big 12-inch one that I got from Icons years ago, which I pretty much love. It's like the definitive Spider-Man for me in 12-inch scale. It had a lot of the McFarlane style to it, art style. And then I have the Marvel Legends ones that came out in recent years. That wasn't that long ago, but really nice. And now this one, the PS4. Oh, and the other two Gamerverse ones that I bought recently that were different suits from the PS4 game. So he comes with a lot of nice accessories. He has really nice paintwork for the most part. Nice little you call it what you call it, the pod, the droid, or the spider that he comes, the actual cell phone, and the piece for the effect for the web shooting that you could attach to another figure. So guys, I recommend the figure. I think it's a really solid figure. You won't be disappointed. For the $24.99 or $27.99 price point, I think he's well worth it. I got him Entertainment Earth. He might still be on sale there, so you can go there and check it out if you haven't seen it. And he should be out available in other places like your local mom and pop shops, or comic shops, maybe even some movie section tailored retail sections like in a Target and in a Walmart in certain areas. But you just gotta keep looking. So definitely in places like Entertainment Earth and things like that of that nature. So I recommend them. I hope you guys have luck getting them and hunting them down, because especially if you're a big fan of Spider-Man and a fan of this suit from the game, or maybe the game itself, it's a must-have, and you won't regret having them as a piece or a showpiece on your collection. So guys, there you have it. There's my review. there's my outlook on the brand new Diamond Select Marvel Select Spider-Man PS4 Costume Edition 7-inch scale Spider-Man figure by Diamond, obviously. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you think you might pick him up, if you liked him, if you didn't like him, if you liked my review, if my review helped you in any way, shape, or form to try to maybe coerce you in going out and picking him up because you didn't know if he was going to be this good or this cool. Or if you just think he's plain garbage and you're never going to pick him up. Either way, it's always good to kind of hear different thoughts and ideas and opinions from you fellow collectors. So leave a thumbs up for a like, leave a thumbs down for a dislike. Whatever you feel, it's fine with me. It's all good. It's all in good fun. And as always, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. And if you subscribe, thank you very much, because it means the world to me. And I know you didn't have to, but since you did, remember, I consider you now part of my family. And as always, guys, if you ever want to help me out in any way, shape, or form in the future, any content or anything that I do on my channel to better it in any way, shape, or form, please, it's down in the description below with my PayPal and my Patreon. And you can also find me on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and obviously on Instagram, C_respect, and on Twitter, Hebot Powerful Gamer. And please share it with someone you think might like this video if you see it and you think it's cool enough to be shared. So guys, until the next one, much love. This is your host, Hebot, signing off. Toys in my closet. Until the next one. Bye-bye.